Hello everyone, welcome back to Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations. Today we're going to trial as Edgeworth. Oh my god, I'm so excited. It's probably just gonna be for this trial, or let me rephrase that. This trial is part 1, part 2. I'm assuming that's all we'll be playing as Edgeworth for, and then it's probably gonna go back to Phoenix, sadly. I love Phoenix, but I love Edgeworth so much more. So I'm enjoying it while it lasts. So yeah, let's jump into playing as Edgeworth in trial.
Oh my, Mr. Loris feels that way about me?
Oh, we told her.
Apparently, he isn't aware of your real secret at all. This is no time to be embarrassed. I'm sorry. I'm just hardly accustomed to that sort of thing.
I do still think that she's not Dahlia. I think you really are Iris. And the culprit is the real Dahlia.
Or not. And in any case, whatever it was that you saw on the night of the incident, mark my words, I will drag it out of him. Does that mean Mr. Loris is the witness today? No. I believe that none will be the first to take the stand. Sister Bikini. She claims to have seen the very instant in which you carried out the crime. I just want to ask you one last time. It really wasn't you who killed Miss Elise D, correct?
You guys have told me how to say that last name, I still don't even want to try.
That is correct. It wasn't me. Very well, then. Mr. Edgeworth? Yes? You're a prosecutor, aren't you? Are you sure about this? If your true identity is revealed? Don't worry. I've made the necessary arrangements.
We're with Judge, too.
I see. Iris, it is a prosecutor's job to doubt people. Right now, I am a defense attorney. A defense attorney's job is to believe in people, and to believe until the bitter end.
Aw, that's what Phoenix says.
That's what my friend told me once. Mr. Edgeworth, I simply ask that you watch and decide for yourself whether or not I am fit to do the task that I've been entrusted. Very well, sir. I leave my defense in your capable hands.
It's gonna be interesting. I won't have anybody with me. I don't have a Maya. But where's the prosecutor?
Court is now in session for the trial of Sister Iris of Hazakura Temple.
I love we're just calling her Sister Iris.
The defense is ready, Your Honor.
You're gonna have Gato?
The defense does indeed appear to be ready. However, the same cannot be said for the prosecution in this case.
Indeed.
I'm not sure I like a blatant waste of this court's time.
That's right, you don't like anything, Judge 2.
An empty prosecutor's chair can only mean the prosecutor has no confidence in their ability to prove their case. It would seem this case is already over before it had a chance to begin.
Can you imagine that's it? Wow, easiest victory I've ever had.
I'm ready to announce my verdict at this time. This court finds the defendant.
What? What? Francisca? What? Okay, I did not expect Francisca to come back. What? Did Edgeworth arrange this? The prosecution stands ready. Is that the voice I did for her?
And you are?
Francisca von Karma, prosecuting prodigy.
Von Karma, you say? Perchance, you wouldn't be any relation to the legendary prosecutor Manfred von Karma, who is in jail for murder.
Legends are a thing of the past. I am a von Karma, that is all. Upon a special request, I flew in today for the purpose of prosecuting this case.
You did? Then you must be quite a big shot, eh?
Okay, Edgeworth asked her to come. We were still gonna have to beat her. She's not gonna let us just take it easy.
By the way, Mr. Edgeworth.
Yes, Your Honor?
I'm almost certain that I've seen you somewhere before, or am I just imagining things?
You're old and senile.
You look very much like a prosecutor I met once.
I believe you are imagining things, Your Honor.
Ms. von Karma, do you have anything to say?
There is no such weakling as this man among those of the prosecutor's office.
There isn't? I'm sure once before in this courtroom. Ah!
I told you, there is no such weakling. Oh, this is so fun. I like Francisca. I'm not like a huge Francisca fan or anything, but this is just, I don't know, it's kind of cute. They're like working together, and also to help Phoenix, like both of his, like the prosecutors from his past. Aw. And also I just think the sibling relationship between Edgeworth and Francisca is really interesting that I would love to see more. I don't know, I like that he called her in and she was like, okay, fine, I'll come.
What is that? A whip? I'm not sure I care for such a thing in my courtroom. Bailiff, remove that whip at...
I have no objections to the whip. Edgeworth is like, I'm used to it.
You don't?
The prosecution can wield a whip or drink 17 cups of coffee. There's still only one truth. That is what I stand here to prove today.
This promises to be interesting, Miles Edgeworth. I'd expected to face Phoenix Wright here today. But looking at you now, maybe this is what I have been waiting for all this time. Oh, did you tell him? Like, oh, or her. I'm sorry, I called you a him. Did you tell her you can face Phoenix? Miles Edgeworth, I will not allow this chance to crush you. You slip through my fingers.
I see you brought your flair for the
Why can I not say this? Histrionic. I tried.
Allow me to add to the things I'm not sure about. People acting bizarrely in my courtroom.
You're just not used to judge's wacky court, okay? These two are veterans in the wacky court.
Wah!
The stage is set. Now continue with the proceedings, Your Honor. This was just fine in the wacky court.
Very well, Ms. Von Karma. Please give an outline of this case. With as little whipping as possible.
I wonder if she's gonna whip Edgeworth at all. The murder victim is the famed picture book author, Miss Elise D. Her body was found in the Hazakura Temple courtyard. She'd been stabbed through the torso by a ceremonial sword from a golden statue.
The sword in this picture is the weapon in question, correct? Very well. The court accepts this photo of the crime scene.
The courtyard where Elise D was murdered. There is no mistake. This was the doing of Sister Iris. After all, there is a witness to her crime.
Very well. Please bring this witness to the stand.
And so it begins. My first and last trial as a defense attorney.
Oh, this is so fun! She's so short. Oh my god. Oh, this is like the first game. Didn't they have to give a box for like the little kid in the one case? Witness, state your name and occupation, please.
Hold on there. I'm not sure about being not sure if I care for this at all.
That was really hard to say, Judge, too.
Witness, please stand up nice and straight.
If I recall correctly, there are a few milk crates in the defendant's lobby for our back pain-plagued witnesses.
Bailiff, fetch a crate for this poor lady, please.
There we go.
Once again, your name and occupation, please.
Little old me. Well, I'm the head nun of Hazakura Temple on Eagle Mountain. My name is Bikini. You got it? Bikini. Nice to meet everyone.
But you don't appear to be wearing a bikini right now. Wah!
The courtroom is the garden of holy judgment. Those with Letria in their hearts should leave this sanctuary at once.
You want me to leave?
We want Judge 1, not Judge 2. No need to get your bikinis in a twist. Let me tell you, I'm a sight to behold in summer. Wahaha, ha ha, ha.
In any case, witness, I hear that you saw the crime take place on the night in question.
That's right. I can still hardly believe it myself, to be honest. There's no way two little liars could do anything like that.
Let us hear what you have to say then. First, tell us about your own movements that night, eh?
The night of the murder. That night, I was helping an acolyte with her training in the inner temple, but, well, as you can see, my back leg sagged up violently. So, I left Iris to help the acolyte and returned to Hazakura Temple.
There's no bath at the inner temple, you see, and I needed a long hot soak. It was after I'd finished, just as I was heading back. That's when I saw it.
So it was simply coincidence that you found yourself returning to Hazakura Temple.
Yes, you could say that. If my back hadn't been in so much pain, I wouldn't have stayed in at the inner temple. That sounds like a pretty important statement she just made.
There's only one problem with this testimony that I can see. And you're not about to fall at the first hurdle, now are you, Miles Edgeworth?
Mr. Edgeworth, please begin your cross-examination.
This is a fun little rivalry we've got going on. Okay. I want to look at the court record. I think I know Iris's testimony rang the lights out bell at 10 p.m. and was then in her room until the murder was discovered. Okay. So I think I have to present this. So I left Iris to help the acolyte. So that's wrong because Iris wasn't there. So, boom.
Witnesses have to undergo their own trials, I'm afraid. The defendant's fate rests on their powers of observation and memory, after all.
Well. Don't worry. I'm more than up to the task. I'm a woman of faith, after all. The head honcho of Hazakura Temple.
In that case, Miss Honcho, I'd like you to explain something for me. The discrepancy between your testimony and that of the defendant Iris. She claims that after ringing the lights out bell, she went back and stayed in her room. Which means she did not go to the inner temple at all.
No! She said that. A defendant or a witness? Who is more likely to lie, do you suppose? The defendant is simply lying to cover her back.
But that is completely illogical. The murder was committed in the courtyard of Hazakura Temple. Claiming that she went to the inner temple would make for a much better alibi.
But that is odd. Whatever the reason, I can't believe that she would lie.
She does indeed have honest eyes. Why?
All people lie. That is my belief.
Why am I the only one being whipped in here?
It's a good question. It's because you're judge too. Okay, you're not the real judge. I am very curious though because of their sibling dynamic. If we've never seen her whip Edgeworth. Not that I want her to, I'm just curious if she will.
Anyway, neither the witness nor the defendant have any reason to lie. Which means we must call your memory into question.
Dear. You're older than me, and yet you want to play that game, do you?
Well, that isn't exactly what I...
My memory's perfect, crystal clear, especially in winter.
Then I suppose it's too early to end this cross-examination, eh? Mr. Edgeworth, if you are going to question the memory of this witness, you will need to show me a more decisive piece of evidence.
Understood, Your Honor. I was naive to think that alone would do the trick.
And please add your comments about Iris to the testimony. A boot?
Why does it keep saying a boot?
And let us return to the cross-examination.
That night I was helping an acolyte. Okay, there's a new one, right? Is this? Oh, Iris came to the inner temple. She was dressed exactly as she had been at dinner. Okay, no she wasn't. This is an easy one. She gave the hood to Phoenix.
Witness, let's get one thing straight. The defendant, whom you claim to have met, she was wearing this demon warding hood, correct?
Of course. That is a very important piece of clothing, I'll have you know. Wahaha, wahaha, haha. Wait a minute. Hold it right there. Why do you have that? I love when he does that. And when he does that, it means something good for me now.
That's the question of the day now, isn't it, Miss Von Connor? I'll have you know that this hood was given to someone as a gift that night, before the lights out bell was rung.
What?
You know where I'm going with this, don't you? If the witness had seen the defendant as she claims, then the Iris she saw should have been missing this very hood.
Well. standing on such a tall, like, box.
It's not a bad feeling at all, exposing contradictions like this. Now I understand that happy look on Wright's face every time he does it.
Order in the... Ah! Stop whipping me! Now I know what Judge 1 goes through.
Sister, this hood. You have spare ones around the temple, don't you?
Spares? Well, I do tend to make too many of them.
I see. A stockpile. A surplus of hoods, eh?
Each note is only given one hood. This should be the only hood that Iris owned.
This is quite strange. Wah!
If there was a surplus of hoods, then she could have worn one of those. There's no contradiction here.
I'm sorry to break this to you, Ms. Von Karma, but you won't get away that easily. Discrepancies such as this will sow seeds in any human heart. The seeds of doubt.
Witness? While I don't wish to call your testimony into doubt, you must give every detail with precision.
I'm not sure I'm comfortable going along with this. Sister, you shall continue with your testimony. Tell us what you saw after finishing your bath on the way back to the inner temple.
Those seeds of doubt are sprouting in the judge's heart. They just need a little more stimulation to bear fruit. Contradictory stimulation.
God, I love hearing his inner thoughts. It's so fun. After my bath. I finished my bath around 11, and I thought I should return to the inner temple. And as I was walking back, I heard a noise from the courtyard. I took a look, and Iris was, Mr. Khalees. And with that sword, of all things, Mr. Khalees was staying in the corner room, which faces out onto the courtyard. The stabbing I saw must have occurred after she was pushed out of her window. No, because we learned that she was pushed after she was dead. So I'm wondering if that is Iris and she was maybe trying to pull it out of her? Or it was Dahlia trying to stage the scene for Bikini to see.
You saw a truly terrible sight, didn't you? If I was in your place, then it would be much like Ms. Von Karma whipping Mr. Edgeworth in two in court. And me seeing it all from this very chair. This is my hint. Please, Ms. Von Karma, whip him instead for once. Well, something like that.
This judge. His imagination is about as vivid and creative as Detective Gumshoe.
That's right. Gumshoe did say something similar. I would look the fool in the... Jeez. Her fool lines always throw me off. I would look the fool if I commented on such foolishness. Anyway, this case is mine, Miles Edgeworth.
Calling everyone by their full name. Can't you do something about that habit of yours?
That's right, she does always do that. Okay, so is it... Was it... Do I have Elise's autopsy? It's gonna be... The stabbing, I must have saw it after she was pushed out of her window. Crime photo. Loss of blood from stab in the back. Body fell 10 feet after death. Okay, so it's that.
Impressive logic. That's what I'd like to say anyway.
Oh, please do. My brain is something else. Especially in winter.
However, I think you are overlooking one thing. Ms. Von Karma, would you be so kind as to take another look at the autopsy report?
The autopsy report?
The victim did fall from a height of 10 feet. However, this fall was after she was killed.
Ah!
That's right. It is after death right here.
The scene the witness claims to have seen is contradictory. If the defendant stabbed and killed the victim there in the courtyard, how did the victim then go on to take a 10-foot fall?
Ah! Man, Edgeworth, we're getting Von Karma pretty good right now.
Order! The victim was killed and then fell. If that is the case, the victim must have been killed in her room, don't you agree?
That is the logical conclusion. Yes, that's right. The victim must have been stabbed by the defendant in her own room. And she was then thrown out the window down into the courtyard below.
Were there any signs of a struggle in Miss D's room? She was stabbed with a sword. That would leave a bloodstain, wouldn't you agree?
Well, Ms. Von Karma, was there any blood? Ah,
No traces of blood were found in the victim's room.
your whip has just caused traces of blood to be found on my glorious playoff beard. Ugh. How does Judge 1 deal with this? However, if there was no blood in the room, you will claim that. Wow! How is this not a chargeable offense? I'm being beaten.
I'm sure there is no need for me to go over this, as I'm sure Your Honor is well aware. But when a stab wound produces the most blood,
When it produces the most blood,
very little blood is actually lost at the moment of the blade's insertion. If you want to talk about when the most blood would be lost from your body, that would be when the blade was removed, which could have been when she fell.
Indeed, with the weapon still in place. It acts like a lid on the wound.
that's true. With the weapon still in the body, there wouldn't be much bleeding. A perfectly reasonable line of thinking.
We have come to a conclusion then. The victim was thrown out the window with the sword still in place. This removes all of the contradictions.
Order, order, order. I must admit that this is a probable version of events.
I'd expect no less from Franziska von Karma. She locates and takes control of every vital point.
Humph.
It seems that we need a clearer testimony from the witness. Remove all supposition on your part and tell us only the facts, please.
Von Karma's being pretty nice to Sister Bikini. She hasn't whipped her at all. No, what happened to her?
Witness, please remain standing on the crate.
Don't go selling me short now. The weight of winter snow has put me out of shape, especially my back and my mood. Sister, please give us your testimony. I will give you a vigorous massage once we are finished here.
With the whip.
Oh boy! All right. God, I've said it so many times, but it's so funny hearing what's going on in his head. Further details. When I looked across at the scene, the sword was already in place. Thinking about it now, I didn't actually see her stab Mr. Gleese. I've never seen so much blood before. Was there that? I don't know, maybe it was cleaned up, but it didn't look like there was that much blood at the scene when we went. That's when I fainted. You can't blame me, can you? And when I awoke, Mr. Gamey was stabbing Mr. Gleese through the back. Yeah, so it got moved to be like that, which is interesting.
This all confirms Ms. Von Karma's theory.
Von Karma strive for nothing but perfection. Putting together such facts is nothing for me. You should know that, Miles Edgeworth.
Perfection is an impossibility, Franziska von Karma. And I'm here to teach you just that.
Oh, I love him. He's just so good. Further details. Okay, thinking about it now. Never seen so much blood before. I wonder, maybe press on this, because I don't remember seeing that much blood. Hold it!
So you're saying that you saw the victim's blood?
That's right. Some of it had splattered onto Iris, too. When the defendant was arrested, she was meditating in her room, and her blood-flecked clothes was neatly folded in the corner. Really? Oh, she was meditating. Could have been snuck in there.
What? Her clothes were blood-flecked as well.
That seems quite conclusive to me.
What should I do? Press this point further?
Sure.
Going back to your previous statement, you said that you saw little bleeding when the victim was stabbed. But now you say you saw the victim bleeding.
Well, I say that what I saw was what I saw.
What did you see?
Maybe I didn't see the poor woman get stabbed, but I saw the girl pull the sword out of her, plain as day.
Pulling the sword out.
That's what I thought. Well, it wasn't exactly pulling. It was more like it came out.
Witness, you will add this statement to your testimony.
Oh, was that important?
more important than you can imagine.
I saw the instant in which the blade plunged into the hilt was... Wait, which the blade plunged into the hilt was smoothly drawn out. Smoothly? It's the victim's blood and the suspect's fingerprints on it. I don't think this is smoothly coming out. Look at it. I don't know if this is right, but...
Sister Bikini, you are a reliable witness. At least I'd like to think so. But there are too many contradictions here.
What do you mean? You make it sound as though I'm a liar. But you're a handsome young man, so I'll forgive you. Mood. What contradictions are you talking about?
In the scene that the witness claims to have seen, the weapon was thrust up to its hilt into the victim.
But they're... Okay. I've done it again. My logic was a little off. The blood was only at the very tip of the sword. And again, it still wouldn't have smoothly come out. So, my logic was... That's not the point he's gonna make. He's gonna make the point that the blood was only at the very top of the sword. Not all the way to the hilt, but... I was close. My logic still makes sense. That wouldn't have smoothly come out of her.
Furthermore, the killer withdrew the weapon smoothly from the body.
Never mind. Edgeworth, we're so smart. We're a great team. I did get that. Haha.
However, both of these are complete impossibilities.
What do you mean? Please explain your... Ah!
Explain yourself. She just flipped to the judge instead of Edgeworth. Is there like some kind of respect here because they're basically like siblings?
To start with, do you think it would be possible to stab someone to the hilt with this? No matter how I look at the defendant, she doesn't appear strong enough for that.
Doesn't appear. What meaningless dribble? I too may appear to be weak and frail. But I can crush men under my heel and make them weep, should I so choose.
The objection stands. I wept a little back there, I must admit. I'm in pain. Help me. I need to go to the hospital.
That isn't the only issue here. I wasn't done, Francisca. If this sword was truly stabbed into the body up to the hilt, well, just look at all the branches on it. It certainly wouldn't come out smoothly.
That's...
We also have the problem of the amount of bleeding. It's true that when the blade is left in the body, it acts as a plug of sorts. However, when the weapon is shaped like this, it's an entirely different story. The wound would be too large for the blade to completely stop the bleeding.
That's nothing more than conjecture. In reality, the victim was stabbed with the sword. Even a weapon of this nature may still sometimes slide out smoothly, and may still sometimes stop the blood loss. There's still one more thing. Oh, I love it, he does that.
I'm not finished. There is still one more conclusive contradiction.
Oh, I love him.
You've still got more. What a handsome, smart young man.
This one is simple. If the sword really was thrust in all the way to the hilt, why is there only blood on the tip of it? If this witness is telling the truth, then there should be blood along the entire length of the sword.
No.
Order.
Bravo, Miles Edgeworth. Raising this many contradictions from a single piece of evidence. All the other attorneys I know could maybe manage one, if that.
But what does all this mean? You have proven contradictions regarding the murder weapon, but...
Having come this far, there can only be one answer.
And that is?
The weapon used to kill the victim was not the
sword. I still cannot say that, no matter how much I try. It's like my mouth gets caught.
What?
A foolishly foolish idea born from the foolish mind of a foolhardy foolish fool. Hey, I said it without stumbling.
Let's examine this again. What was it that made us think this sword was the murder weapon?
Well, it's because Mr. Kamey was holding it.
Exactly. However, if you reflect on this, that is the only basis we have to assume such a thing. The impression left by the scene was just too strong. That is what influenced us. influenced us to believe that the sword was the murder weapon.
Order, order, order. Ah!
So maybe the sword was not the murder weapon. Even if that is the case, it changes nothing, Miles Edgeworth. The sister here saw everything. She saw the defendant stab the victim with a sword-like object.
That's true. Your response, Mr. Edgeworth?
If that is so, I would like the prosecution to answer the obvious question it raises.
The obvious question.
Yes, namely, where did the real murder weapon disappear to? It goes without saying that the police searched the main hall and the surrounding area. Perhaps the prosecution can enlighten us as to if a sword-like object was found.
That's...
Answer the question, Ms. Von Karma.
No evidence of that kind was found.
Another mystery to throw onto the pile. A trial without a murder weapon is a tricky beast.
Excuse me, can I say something? I just remembered something, actually. What is it, sister? I was just thinking, it's possible, but just maybe, what actually happened was, it was just over there.
What exactly are you going on about here?
A boot, again. The murder weapon, I mean, maybe. I think I might know where the sword was disposed of.
You what?
Well then, who'd you whip? I saw the whip going. Who'd you hit? Did you hit anyone? I think we need to hear testimony from you one more time, sister.
Impossible.
What else? What else could this old woman have seen? You're finally understanding how Phoenix feels, Edgeworth. Or did she just whip it around just for fun? I want to know. Did she hit anyone? Location of the weapon. I saw the murder at around 11 p.m. And after asking that it be reported, I went out to the main gate. And there, I saw tracks. Tracks that indicated the snowmobile had been used. Oh, really? It takes 15 minutes to walk to Dusky Bridge, but less than 5 using one of those. Maybe they threw the weapon into the Eagle River and came back while I was knocked out. Iris could have done that. She could drive a snowmobile after all.
Witness, please tell us everything you know right away next time.
Well, I'm not in the best of shape. What with my back and my age, you know. Quite. There were indeed snowmobile tracks in front of the main gate. Here's a photograph.
A snowmobile, eh? I see. Well, it certainly is an interesting theory.
I mean, look at the court record. So you're claiming there's the snowmobile tracks. I'm wondering if this weather should have, like, maybe gotten rid of them. Snow with occasional lightning strikes. So it was snowing. Snow 7 to approximately 10:50. Okay. When did she die? Do we know that? Hold on. I'm on something here. I'm trying to put things together. Okay. So Iris rang the lights out bell at 10 and went to her room. Time between 10 and 11 is when she died. Okay. So she died between 10 and 11. And then the weather data says it was snowing from 7 to 10:50. So I feel like the weather should have maybe like covered up the tracks. But I'm thinking, do we have a photo of her dead? Crime photo. We do. There's no snowmobile tracks here. I feel like I'm onto something here. The tracks begin in front of the PROSECUTOR temple and run all the way to Dusky Bridge. Okay. Tracks photo taken that night from main gate to Dusky Bridge. I feel like I'm onto something there. Like those times, like the way they line up, and the fact that we just got that tracks picture. My guess is that how much it was snowing, that it should have covered the tracks, maybe. That solves your pesky little problem, yes? The Eagle River's current is quite swift, meaning that it doesn't freeze over in the winter, making it the perfect place to dispose of the murder weapon.
She really go to the river to dispose of the murder weapon?
Mr. Edgeworth, your cross-examination, please.
Well, we don't see those tracks anywhere else? Or, I don't know. Actually, Francisca might have said that they were seen going all the way there. So, maybe they threw the weapon into Eagle River and came back while I was knocked out. Well, there would also have to be tracks coming back. I don't think there is. There's no tracks coming back, just going. Or it's one or the other. There's tracks where the tracks coming back but not going. I'm gonna try this.
I admit this photograph proves something. It proves that the snowmobile was used on the night of the murder.
You finally accepted the inevitable, it seems, Miles Edgeworth.
However, if what the witness says is true, then why is there only one set of tracks?
Yep. Edgeworth, we're thinking similar thoughts. Do you think I'm smart and cool? What do you mean?
Iris left Hazakura Temple, threw the weapon into the river, and then returned.
There's only returning tracks.
If this was the case, then naturally there should be two sets of tracks in the snow. Those from heading out to the bridge, and those from coming back.
Ah, you're right.
You are forgetting one thing, Miles Edgeworth. On the night of the murder, it was snowing. The tracks leading to the bridge were erased by the snowfall.
Okay, so there is something with the weather, but maybe it's the reverse of what I'm thinking. Is that there shouldn't have been snow during that time.
This removes your precious contradiction, now doesn't it? I see. While she was at the river, the snow stopped, leaving just the return tracks in the snow.
No, or maybe it's the opposite, is that it was still snowing at the time, so the return tracks should be covered. I think I'm onto something here.
What do you have to say now, Miles Edgeworth?
Is there a flaw in her theory? This idea that the snowfall covered one set of tracks.
There is a contradiction.
The tracks to the river were covered by snow. What a nice theory. However, Ms. Von Karma, that is impossible.
Would you care to explain? Why there is a rude index finger currently pointed in my general direction?
No need. The evidence will do all the talking for me.
He's so cool. Ugh.
On the night of the murder, the killer went to and returned from Dusky Bridge. In order to dispose of the murder weapon, the outgoing tracks were erased by snow. Or so claims Ms. Von Karma. Mr. Edgeworth, present your evidence to the contrary, eh? Evidence that the outgoing tracks were not covered by snow.
It's that weather data. Yeah, I think it's that it still should have been snowing.
Witness, please tell us again what time it was when you witnessed the crime.
Like I said, it was around 11.
Of course, this means that the weapon was thrown away after that time, correct? On that note, please take a look at this data. It is the weather report for Eagle Mountain on the night of the murder.
The weather report?
Snow started to fall at 7 p.m., but it stopped at around 10:50.
Oh, okay, okay. Now I'm there. It's the snow stopped at 10:50, which is probably when she was going to the crime, taking it over there. If she was killing her by 11, so it shouldn't have been snowing to make the tracks go away.
Therefore, when the sister witnessed the crime at 11 p.m., the snow had already stopped falling. It is impossible for any tracks made after that time to have been covered up.
Order. Very well then. It looks like Ms. Von Karma's claim has been snowed in. Haha. I paid the price for that one. It's too soon to be closing this trial due to snow. Miles Edgeworth, how pathetic of you to rely on the weather of all things. Answer me this then. Was a weather report ever correct? No. You got it all wrong. This isn't a forecast. This is actual data. Forecast data, all weather reports have some inaccuracies. It may still have been snowing in the vicinity well past 11 p.m. In it's true, we cannot be totally sure, eh?
What? How did she pull that off?
It stopped snowing at Hazakura Temple when the murder took place. You need to provide conclusive evidence of this.
Is it the photo of the crime? Because it wasn't snowing in that.
I've come this far. There's no turning back now. Very well. I, too, cannot allow any doubt to remain concerning this testimony.
Ha! You can't back down, can you? Such a perfectionist, Miles Edgeworth.
Very well then, Mr. Edgeworth. Where is your evidence that it had already stopped snowing when the victim was killed?
Is it the crime photo? It's not snowing in this, so.
Ultimately, it all comes down to one point. That being, whether or not it was snowing in the courtyard when the victim was stabbed.
That's right, but proving that is
Incredibly easy. If we want to know whether it was snowing or not, this photo will tell us everything. Of course, I am referring to the photo of the crime scene. As you can see, everything is covered with snow. With just one exception.
and that is
The victim herself, Miss Elise D. Why is there no snow on top of her? The answer is simple. It stopped snowing when she was killed, that's why. Gah. In other words, if the killer really did go to the Eagle River to dispose of the murder weapon, then in this photograph there should be two sets of tracks. Ah!
Order. Just what are you... Ah!
just what are you suggesting, Miles Edgeworth?
To be honest, I'm not entirely sure myself, but this is simply what all the facts point to. That night, someone used the snowmobile to leave Hazakura Temple.
Whee!
From the tracks left, it can be understood that they were heading for Dusky Bridge. At the time, it was still snowing.
Of course it was, because those tracks were erased by the snow.
Then, when the person returned to Hazakura Temple, the snow had stopped. Thus, the return tracks remained.
Can I say something? This all sounds a bit flashy to me.
What does, sister?
There is only one key for the snowmobile. Furthermore, on the night in question, we know that the defendant had it. The key was found in her room after the murder. Which can only mean, that night, Iris used the snowmobile to go to the inner temple.
But Iris said that she never went there. I should probably press on this point some more when I get the chance.
Snowmobile can't cross the suspension bridge. So, she must have left it on the Hazakura side of the bridge and crossed on foot. Or Dahlia did.
That sounds right.
But what's odd is, when I left Iris and returned to Hazakura Temple, I wasn't there. I didn't see anything near Dusky Bridge. You must have just failed to see it, sister. Maybe, but when I made it back to Hazakura Temple...
And it's covered in snow.
It was there by the main gate, the snowmobile, I mean. I know what I saw. It was covered in snow, too.
But that isn't possible.
Order in the court. What does this all mean?
So then, what was the snowmobile used for? It wasn't taken by the defendant when she went to the inner temple. If it had been, then the witness couldn't possibly have seen it by the gate. Furthermore, it wasn't used by the killer to dispose of the murder weapon. If that was the case, there should be two sets of tracks in this photo. All we know is this. After it stopped snowing, someone used the snowmobile to return to Hazakura Temple. I never thought a simple snowmobile could cause so much trouble.
I think we've learned all we can from this witness.
Yes, I have nothing more to add. I've told you everything that I know.
Then, that still leaves us with the same problem. If only there was someone, a witness who could testify to having seen the snowmobile.
Larry?
A witness, huh?
Was there no one out, walking perhaps, near Dusky Bridge on that night?
I don't think that's likely. It was cold enough to freeze your ears off. Only an idiot would go out wandering in that. Unless they had something really important to do. Larry.
That's a shame.
Hold on. Something is coming to me. An idiot may well have gone wandering out on the subarctic night. Your Honor, actually, there just might be one individual who may be of help to us.
Really?
You know of someone who might have seen the snowmobile on the night of the murder?
I don't know for sure if he saw it or not. There are two things about him that do come to mind.
Which are?
First, that he saw something incredible on the night of the murder.
And the second being?
This individual that I'm thinking of went wandering outside that cold night. In other words, he is our kind of idiot.
So I've noticed Francisca, she never whipped Sister Bikini. She's totally gonna whip Larry. She's going to whip him.
Mr. Edgeworth, who is this idiot you're talking about? A boot.
It's Larry. Oh, hold on. I wonder what he says about Francisca. What am I saying? Francisca. My mentor, Manfred von Karma's daughter, born/raised in Germany, prosecutor 13. Oh, then maybe he'd say something a little more interesting.
This guy must be a product of Jean-Luc de the obnoxious French painting.
This is Larry Butts, a disciple of the victim, at least a
student. Interesting. And why was he wandering about outside on the night of the murder?
That I could tell him about his designs for Iris, but it may cost us his credibility as a witness before I even call him. He is, after all, an artist. He was perhaps searching for something in the snowy scenery that would move him. Although I cannot guarantee that this is the reason.
And so, this unfortunate, unreliable-looking man, who I'm very likely going to whip, what exactly is it that he saw?
I intend to extract that from him right here in this courtroom.
Summon this youth as a witness immediately.
I have no choice, do I?
I believe he's in the gallery for this trial. It will not take long to summon him.
I'm right here.
Very well.
Larry, you may have escaped me yesterday, but today I'm going to get everything out of you.
The court will now adjourn for a 20-minute break. Not recess, I don't do slides. Ms. Von Karma, please see to preparing the next witness.
Understood, Your Honor.
Good. Well then, court is now in recess. Oh, never mind, I do slides.
To be continued. Oh, this is so fun. I love playing as Edgeworth. Oh. We're only gonna get it to do it for one more part, I'm sure. This is really fun though. I actually really like, as much as I would love to see Edgeworth versus Gatto, because I think that could be super interesting. Gatto would know who Edgeworth is. And I don't know, it's fun seeing Edgeworth and Francisca kind of going back and forth. Like, it's just very interesting because they've kind of got a sibling thing going on. So I like being able to see more of them interact because we only got a little bit of it in the last game. And it is good that we're getting more Francisca because we've already got way more Gatto in this game than we did of Francisca in the last game. She did deserve a bit more screen time, even if it's just this. And it's also just interesting to see, like, she's only whipping the judge. I don't know if she's ever whipped Edgeworth or if she's ever going to, but it's interesting to note that, like, she would have whipped Phoenix, like, at least 20 times by now, and Edgeworth gets nothing. So there must be, like, some sort of sense of respect there. She didn't whip Sister Bikini either, which is interesting, because I know it can't be like, oh, well, she's like a girl and she might feel bad about whipping a girl. Because I think she whipped Maya, and I distinctly remember her whipping Lotta Hart, who, by the way, I'm surprised isn't in this game. Like, she didn't make a comeback. I don't know, maybe it's because she's a nun. There's like some form of respect there. Anyways, this is interesting. I love playing as Edgeworth. My theory is still the same, that it was the real Dahlia. But yeah, I'm pretty sure next time is probably going to be the last bit of Edgeworth. I would be shocked if it keeps going after that. But I hope he sticks around for the rest of the case too. But yeah, for right now, I'm going to go ahead and go. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!